From the world's leading center for finance, the arts, publishing, science, research, media, innovation, and much more. This is Metro Focus with Rafael P. Roman.
Tonight, the long road to recovery 6 months after Sandy.
I am shooting for Memorial Day, but at this particular point, all I want to do is get done.
Turning city kids into environmental ambassadors.
They're going to set the conservation agenda, I believe, for the 21st century.
And how to make math add up to a whole lot of fun.
All right.
Funding for this program is made possible by James and Merrill Tisch, Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, Jody and John Arnhold, Bernard and Irene Schwartz, the Nissan Foundation, and the Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. Corporate funding for Metro Focus is provided by Mutual of America, your retirement company.
Hello, I'm Rafael P. Roman. Welcome to Metro Focus. 6 months ago, New York and New Jersey were still under siege. From Long Island to far inland New Jersey and all along the shore, the power was out, roads and bridges were closed, trains and subways had stopped, and more than 100 people died. Today, we're still recovering from Superstorm Sandy. We begin tonight in Ortley Beach, New Jersey, where the storm took down almost every house and business. And as Lauren Wanko reports, there's still a lot of work to be done.
He once towered over tourists at the Jersey Shore. Now the iconic giant waits for Barnacle Bill's Arcade and Mini Golf to reopen in Ortley Beach. It's one of many projects New Elevation's construction has underway.
I mean, there's 40,000 properties in 100 miles of the storm that really need our service. And most of our customers, they've been calling, my phone's been ringing off the hook, please come help us.
Around the corner, homeowner Peg Gallagher is forced to rebuild. 3 homes landed in her backyard.
It's depressing to be here. It was such a beautiful place, and it's totally depressing.
There are about 2,000 homes in Ortley Beach. Mayor Tom Kelleher says every house was damaged by Superstorm Sandy, and at this point, over 100 homes need to be demolished here.
Our engineers refer to them as Dorothy houses, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, where the tornadoes ripped the houses apart. And we're working with FEMA right now to get permission to reimburse us for doing that.
Mayor Kelleher expects demolition work to begin before the summer. On Ocean Avenue, the lifeguards' headquarters is being rebuilt, along with sections of the boardwalk.
We expect to have at least 4 or 5 blocks of boardwalk open by June.
And the beach should be open from 3rd to 5th Street.
We're making a concerted effort to get the beaches open. It's an important asset to the community.
Starlight Motel manager Joseph Guarino couldn't agree more. The motel is one of 4 businesses open in town.
It's just the perception of people that drive down here. They still drive down here after 4 months and they see a lot of homes still crushed and still in the same condition. So their perception is we're never going to open.
Across the street, Johnny Fries is open, flipping burgers and serving French fries to the lunch crowd.
The contractors are here 3 out of the 5 days a week, so our business is doing quite well.
Others are still in the process of rebuilding, like the beach shop owner Frank Ngata.
I am shooting for Memorial Day, but at this particular point, all I want to do is get done. If it's Memorial Day, if it's June 15th, if I have to wait till 4th of July weekend.
Ngata thinks Ortley Beach will be inundated with tourists this summer.
They've heard about it for 6 months, how bad Ortley Beach was, and now they want to see it for themselves. So I think they'll take a day trip.
That's something business owners in all the storm-ravaged towns along the shore are hoping for. In Ortley Beach, for Metro Focus, I'm Lauren Wanko.
In New York City, some of Sandy's most frightening aftermath was in massive public housing projects. Power failures lasted for weeks, leaving elderly and low-income residents without heat, light, and in some cases, elevators. Just days after the storm hit, Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism students John Gerber and Kristen Reed made their way inside the Smith houses on Manhattan's Lower East Side.
It's hit us in a way that we didn't even expect.
Miriam and Diana Ortiz are 2 sisters who had been living in the Smith houses without power or water. They had been staying with their aging parents. Their father has heart problems and hadn't left the apartment since the storm. Miriam has asthma, but she had climbed up and down 12 flights, she says 4 times daily at least, to walk the dog, gather food and water, and get medicine for her father.
Is Mayor Bloomberg going to see this? Maybe. I'd like for him to see this. because it's not about making money and putting luxury around the streets. But I mean, there's a lot of elderly people living in this building that shouldn't have to go through all this. And the shelter is not the only answer.
The Ortizes chose not to stay in the shelter, mainly for their father's health. In fact, the Smith houses have the highest percentage of elderly tenants of any housing complex in New York, 30% according to federal calculations. Everyone downtown seemed eager to help. Private companies sent generators, politicians sent water bottles. The NYPD provided its own support, as did the National Guard.
I understand that everybody's been out here for a while. They've been without food and water and power, needless to say, for several days. So we're trying our best to help them out.
Resident Shirley Miles said she thanked God for the help that the National Guard had provided her and her family.
You know, living in the day, ain't living for tomorrow, living for right now. So otherwise, now, me and my daughter, we're fine. We're hanging in there, and this too shall pass.
Other residents were skeptical of the relief efforts. They said their low-income community had been left behind in the city's recovery. Peter Powell waited in line for a packaged meal. His building across the street had been flooded since the storm.
I think there could have been more response. Obviously, a lot of places need generators. They really needed some generators here. This is a project, Smith Houses. This is Article 4 housing. I'm sure Wall Street has electricity. You know, Battery Park has their electricity. They can pump out all the water out of the transit system, but they can't pump the water out of this building.
And joining me now is Cecil House, General Manager of the New York City Housing Authority. Mr. House, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, Mr. House, we just saw what Sandy did to the Smith houses. Can you give us a thumbnail sketch of what how the storm affected New York City's public housing overall?
The impact of the storm was very broad across the city. In NYCHA alone, we lost power, heat, hot water to 423 buildings, affecting 80,000 residents across the city, from Brooklyn, Queens, and mostly Lower Manhattan.
And so, what kind of progress have we made in the last 6 months in cleanup and recovery?
Well, in the fundamental areas, we've restored all of the fundamental services to all of our facilities. So heat, hot water, and electricity was restored to all the NYCHA buildings within the first 3 weeks after the storm. The recovery efforts have continued since then to clean up the buildings and to return them in livable condition. So today, we have in at least 24 of our developments, we still have mobile boilers providing heat and hot water. And that's likely to continue until we replace those boilers with a new, more resilient mechanism for getting heat and hot water into those buildings.
And besides those boilers, what are the things that you're focusing on?
We're focusing on ensuring that the buildings were cleaned, mold was addressed and removed in all the facilities, that the residents that were impacted, that needed to be transferred, have been transferred appropriately to other locations. As we move forward over the next few weeks, we will be restoring building units, particularly on the first floor, that took the biggest beating prior to the hurricane condition.
And what were the principal lessons that the Housing Authority learned from Sandy and its aftermath?
There were a host of lessons that we've learned, and we've studied this internally, and we've also talked to residents and to community-based organizations and other city agencies. Number one, evacuation is critically important. When residents choose to shelter in place in the light of a storm such as Sandy, it makes it very difficult for the Housing Authority and other agencies to address the need that gets built up after the storm. So evacuation is very important up front. We're also working very hard to ensure that our buildings are more resilient so that the impacts of the storm from a building system and structure perspective is going to be mitigated. And then we've got to partner better with our residents to prepare them to manage through the storms, and we need to work better with community-based organizations and other city agencies to deliver services as quickly as possible. For NYCHA ourselves, we're primarily a landlord, and we're not in a position, given the challenges that we have with federal funding, to address and staff up to address all of the issues that our residents might have in the light of a storm as significant as Hurricane Sandy. So partnering with others is going to be critical for us.
But are you confident that, I mean, storm season is almost upon us. It's just a month away officially. Are you confident that the NYCHA is prepared to deal with whatever comes?
Well, whatever comes is a big question, right? We don't know what's going to come, but we've reassessed our emergency preparedness efforts, working with other city agencies. We are as prepared today as we have ever been, and I would say we're better prepared. We do have emergency temporary boilers in some locations, so we'll have to make sure that we work on those as we move through the hurricane season. But getting our residents prepared, executing our hurricane procedures, we're all ready to do that as we move forward.
And preparing for the long run, for the long term, what are you doing about that?
Well, our vision for the long term is actually making our facilities more resilient. So today, our boilers, our electrical switchgears are all in our basements, exposed. So as we move forward, particularly in Zone A areas, and the new Zone A we think is going to impact even more of our buildings, we're working to elevate
Zone A, those are the vulnerable areas.
The vulnerable areas right near the coast that are more likely to take damage from a hurricane such as Hurricane Sandy. So elevating boilers, moving them out of harm's way, elevating pumps, elevating our electrical systems so that they may not actually operate during the storm, but as soon as the storm is over, the expectation would be we'd be able to re-engage and reoccupy our facilities after the evacuation very quickly.
All right, Mr. House, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All of us are struggling to make sense of the terror attack in Boston. The images of victims at the marathon finish line are seared in our minds. But with so many questions about the bombing still unanswered, media coverage continues almost nonstop. So we turn once again to Dr. Harold Koflowitz, founding president of the Child Mind Institute, for guidance on what adults can do to help children cope, and to find out about Speak Up for Kids, a campaign to improve mental health care for children. Doctor, welcome back.
It's good to be here.
No, Doctor, it always seems like we talk only after national tragedies, and of course now it's the Boston attacks. We've all been impacted by it. How have children been impacted by this differently than adults?
Well, I think this time around, for whatever reason, the media coverage has not been as responsible as it has been in the past. I think we remember that after 9/11, we learned from kids that every time they saw a plane going into a building and saw that film again and again, they thought it was a new event. This time we keep looking at the bombings from different angles, and we keep showing the terror. So we see people who are missing limbs. We see blood all over the place. There are almost, it seems like scenes from war. These are inappropriate scenes for a child to see. So the number one thing parents have to do is turn the TV off. And in fact, if we've learned anything, when one of these events happen, children should not be watching TV. Parents should just say, for the next few days, we're not going to be watching. And then the second thing they have to do is they have to give context to it. This happened, it's very scary, but now we're going to be better prepared, because that's what children want to hear. They want to hear that they are protected.
You know, but Doctor, you talked about TV, and you've mentioned that before, but but there are a lot of children with a phone just like this one, and if they don't have it, their friends have it, and a world of information comes out of this that are out of the control, that's out of the control of parents. What do you do about that?
Well, I think first and foremost, we're talking about children under the age of 6 who are the most vulnerable to these kinds of images. But the second piece is that parents have to talk about these things. As upsetting as it is, even though we might not be viewing it on TV, but to tell kids that yes, they were frightened, that parents are frightened, but what does this mean? And how rare is this? And was this another attack? And what are the questions you have? Please tell me what you're concerned about. Because I always tell parents, wait for the question, answer the question, don't answer the question you have in your head. And also let them know that if they still have concerns, the conversation can continue tomorrow, the day after.
All right, let's talk about Speak Up for Kids, an event that you actually organized before the Boston attacks. Right. What is it?
Well, we think that at least for 1 month out of the year, we should have a month where we're talking about children's mental health. That psychiatric and learning disorders are real, they're common, and they're treatable. And there are big barriers to preventing kids from getting the help they need. One is stigma. Even today, people will talk about diabetes and cancer and AIDS, but they don't talk about their child's depression or something as common as ADHD or dyslexia. And the second is there isn't enough access. Even though there's good news that we have affordable health care and that we believe that parity, that there'll be equality between physical health coverage and mental health coverage, Today, there's still not enough providers. And third, we haven't been making the investment in science, particularly in childhood brain science and understanding the brains of the developing child sufficiently in the last decade as we've had economic challenges in this country. So it's time for us to really speak on a regular basis. And what we've done is we've started a website for the entire month where literally you can get every expert, from Tom Insel from the National Institute of Mental Health, or Nora Volkow talking about drug abuse, since she's the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, and more importantly, hearing from parents who have struggled with kids, or from kids who've been struggling and succeeding with psychiatric disorders.
Doctor, are you optimistic that the federal government and Americans in general understand the importance of mental health for kids?
Well, I think this is the first time that I have to tell you I got Republicans and Democrats talking to us about children's mental health. So I've literally been to D.C. in the last month 3 times talking to, testifying in front of different committees. And the one thing that we seem to see that both sides of the aisle are interested in is children's mental health. And if someone wants to do something about it, it's time to speak up. You can speak up by wearing a wristband, which I hope you will. And you also have to be the person in your community that people can talk to about this. So you have to educate yourself about the fact that there are 15 million kids, less than half of them get any help when they have a psychiatric disorder.
Well, doctor, thank you.
Thank you.
One of the largest environmental groups in the world is the Nature Conservancy, which works in all 50 states and 35 countries to protect the environment. It's been around since 1951 and has more than 1 million members. In New York, the Nature Conservancy has added a new mission: to make urban students familiar with the wilderness. As part of that effort, it started a program called LEAF, which stands for Leaders in Environmental Action for the Future. We asked the Conservancy's New York Executive Director, Bill Alfelder, to tell us more. Bill, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Now, Bill, the Nature Conservancy, it's been in existence for 60 years, and it's the largest conservationist organization in the world, correct?
Correct.
Despite this success, I understand that you've recently decided to change your approach.
Right.
What are you changing and why?
Well, I think there's a recognition inside the organization that the world is changing. So we're going to 9 billion people in terms of global population, and 7 billion of the 9 billion people are going to be in cities. And the Nature Conservancy was founded, I think, originally on people who were interested in wilderness areas and rural areas. And there's a major shift going on in terms of appreciating that the success of environmental protection is really going to hinge on cities in the future. So we're starting to think about how can the Nature Conservancy deeply engage city populations in conservation success.
So when you talk about city population, you mean a diversified and ethnic, racial background, for example?
That's correct. I mean, I think this has dramatic implications for an organization that has been built in a certain way. And if we're going to be relevant in the 21st century, we have to think about reaching new populations, different age diversity, different racial diversity, if the Nature Conservancy and conservation are going to succeed in general.
So young people of color is the target population that you're trying to reach?
It's part of it. I mean, I think that if we're going to succeed, everybody has to be involved in the environmental movement. And there's no doubt that to date, people of color, age diversity are insufficiently represented, I think, in the environmental movement formally. And so, yes, the Conservancy is saying, how can we be relevant and what are the ways we can engage these folks on their terms in the places where they live?
And what are the ways? How are you reaching out?
Well, one of them is, well, a couple of things. So one is we're deliberately thinking about urban conservation programs. So take New York City. People don't think of New York City as a particularly diverse environment, but it is. I mean, we have seals, whales, dolphins, peregrine falcons. It's a very diverse city. But also, we're trying to find new ways to reach out to people that historically might not have been in our history, like creating new leaders for the environmental movement.
What about LEAF? It's the Leaders for Environmental Action for the Future. It's called LEAF.
Yep.
Talk about that.
Sure. It's a great example of what the Conservancy is trying to do to reach these populations. So this is a program which started in New York City, is now going national thanks to a grant from the Toyota USA Foundation. And we're now going to be in over a dozen cities nationally. And it takes kids out of environmentally focused high schools gives them paid summer internships for a month. So it's the first time they've often been outdoors, outside of the city, first time they have a paying job, and they learn leadership skills, they explore, and their love for the environment really flourishes, that they come back energized to lead.
You're selecting these kids from environmentally focused high schools, but if you want to diversify, why not go to urban public schools that up to now have had no contact with the environmental movement?
Well, it's a great question, and I think the Nature Conservancy is asking ourselves that question, but right now we feel like this is a great group of schools. We've got about 25 schools nationally. Most of them are public schools. The 13 that are in the New York tri-state area mostly are public schools, so these are urban kids, often kids of color, and they're kids who haven't had access to the outdoors historically in the ways that many of us have had in our lifetime.
And in the long run, what do you hope that the kids who participate in LEAF take from it?
Well, the expectation is that the leadership of the environmental movement in the 21st century is going to be different. It's going to look different. It's going to care about different things like urban areas. These are the kids that are going to grow to be the leaders. So these kids come out of this program and disproportionately choose environmental majors in college. They disproportionately become environmental professionals in their professional lives after they graduate from college. So these kids, whether they're in finance, whether they're in urban planning, or whether they're in the conservation organization directly, they're going to set the conservation agenda, I believe, for the 21st century.
All right, Bill. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, it was a pleasure to be here.
Math. It's not a favorite subject for most of us once we get past 2 + 2, and that doesn't equal good news. In fact, U.S. students rank far behind many countries in math and science. So what's the answer? Well, it may be found at the new Museum of Mathematics here in Manhattan, where making math fun and physical is adding up to a new kind of solution. The National Museum of Mathematics, or MoMath as it likes to be called, is the only math museum in the country. Glenn Whitney, a Harvard graduate who later taught mathematics at the University of Michigan and worked as a quantitative analyst at a Long Island hedge fund, had the idea to open it after a small Nassau County math museum he once enjoyed with his family suddenly closed in 2006.
We sort of have this strange attitude toward mathematics, and I've seen it, at a party. It's okay to say, hey, I was terrible at math, weren't you? That kind of thing. It's socially acceptable. You would never say, I could never really read very well. It wouldn't happen. So we have a problem, it's holding us back, and I wanted to see if I could do something about it.
Whitney and collaborators have raised $23 million so far for the museum. And already the 19,000 square foot space with 30 unique math exhibits of 2 floors is attracting many more visitors than expected. Those exhibits are all about turning math from abstract concepts into things you can touch and feel and do.
What I need you to do now is stand here in one of these 2 red circles. I'll get the other one.
So tell me what this is.
Okay, well, this is called Human Tree. If you hold your arms up in the air, then you're going to see lots of copies of yourself. If you lean over onto that console and hit the word yes, then we'll actually combine our images. And there you go. Now you're on my shoulders, and I'm on your shoulders, and now the 2 of us are actually collaborating to create this pattern.
So what does this teach kids about math?
Well, first off, it teaches kids that math is not just about numbers, but also about patterns. It teaches them you can work together. Here we are working together to make this. And it teaches kids that beautiful things come out from very simple ideas.
An exhibit called Math Squared, an ever-changing display that detects your feet. Its goal? To make the math puzzles and games that emerge a kind of contact sport.
Yeah, if you step over there, yeah, see now that's your region, this is my region.
I like the math square that's behind me because it has a lot of angles and a lot of fun shapes and a lot of fun activities.
On the ground floor, the museum's target audience of 4th to 8th graders aren't the only ones lining up to ride the square-wheeled trikes. I'll take the big one if you don't mind.
No, that's just fine. I've got more practice on this one.
So this is the one you always read about here.
Exactly.
What are we learning?
Well, so again, it's all about that surprise in mathematics. And if you just roll away, you don't even need to use your hands. And the point is, everybody knows that a square wheel can't possibly roll, right?
That's right.
And so we want to show here that with math, you can make things that seem to be impossible, you can make them possible. It's that element of surprise. It's that element of, like, I've never seen anything like that before. That's what we want to show kids here on the square wheel train.
And you know what? It's a heck of a lot of fun.
All right. There you go. All right.
But for Whitney, there's a far more serious side to the exhibits, something that continues to motivate him.
We want to have experiences that can be entered at a sort of visceral level. If we spark curiosity, then I mean, that illumination, it takes work like anything. Like, like figuring out how to play the flute better, you have to practice. So that illumination is going to come through the kind of attention that maybe can't happen in a museum, but we can light the spark here.
What do you hope people take away from a visit to the Math Museum?
I think the most important thing you can take away from when you come here is that you personally can be involved with math and you can create mathematical ideas and structures that are beautiful and exciting. You can make your own 3D sculpture at the Mathenaeum. You can make your own set of tiles that interlock in some unique way at Tile Factory. Everyone is able to be involved with math and do something beautiful and exciting.
Using new approaches to an old problem equals, oh, okay, enough with the math puns. As I said, it was just plain fun. And that's it for this edition of Metro Focus. Join us next week for an inside look at rebuilding Lower Manhattan's infrastructure after Sandy, and for a Wyatt Earp story with a true New York angle. I'm Rafael P. Roman. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Funding for this program was made possible by James and Merrill Tisch, Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, Jody and John Arnhold, Bernard and Irene Schwartz, the Nissan Foundation, and the Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. Corporate funding for Metro Focus was provided by Mutual of America, your retirement company,